See, this universe, in my opinion, is imbued with divine energy, which is coming from God. And that divine energy is flowing through every single atom in our body. Scientists, not only did they find out that you can store information on DNA in a volume, which is incredible, a scientist named George Church took his ebook and replicated it 80 billion times and then downloaded it onto one drop of DNA. He converted the zeros and ones that made up the ebook into A, C's, T's, and G's, which is read-write for DNA, and then he dropped it onto the DNA, and then he converted it back from A, C's, T's, and G's back into zeros and ones and uploaded it back to the server. So DNA is read-write.
Is this the Matrix? Are we in the Matrix?
Oh, we're in the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. I'm telling you, that's what my book is called, The Matrix Code Revealed, the Fractal Holograph Unit. The Matrix Code is revealed in my book. I'm telling you. It's real. And we are literally living inside of, we're part of a sophisticated divine program. Whether some people think that they take that up, I got blood. Yeah, but at the deepest level, you don't have blood. At the deepest level, there is no blood because your blood is made of atoms, and atoms are 99.9999% empty space. So there's not even any blood there. Matter of fact, there's so much nothing here in this realm. There's 8.3 billion people on Earth. If I took away all the empty space in the atoms from everyone's body, I could fit everyone into one sugar cube. There's nothing here.
I want you to go into this a little bit deeper because even when we think about water, right, and the study that's been done on water and the scientists who did this neuroscience that you put the water in the jar, love, hate, the frequency that goes into it. And when we think about our own lives, we really are conducting water experiments every day.
Every day.
On these 70% water bodies that we have, right?
Yeah, well, the Bible says the tongue is a two-edged sword, right? It's a fact. Some of these people knew what the heck they were talking about because the body is made up of 70% water. And Dr. Masaru Emoto, who I was blessed to be able to not work with him because he passed away, but I worked with his understudy for some time on frequencies and 432 hertz and the power of water, learning how water has memory and what water can do based on emotional output. Now, when you look at water, if you do have water and you bless it, you pray over it, you send positive vibrations to it, positive thoughts to it, it will crystallize in a very positive way underneath the microscope. If you have negative thoughts towards the water or speak negatively towards water and then look at it under a microscope, it'll have malformed crystals. Sometimes it won't even crystallize, which is crazy. So we know that water is directly affected by conscious output. Now, if your body's made of water and you're sitting there thinking, I suck, even if you're saying it quietly, within your own self, that's still a vibration. How? Because your thoughts don't stay inside of this bone, the skull. Your thoughts leave your skull. We know this because if I put an EEG cap on you, I can capture your thoughts and send it to a computer.
This is why when people walk in a room, you don't have to say anything.
That's right.
Your energy speaks for itself.
You can feel their energy. You can download their energy. You can quantum entangle even with their thoughts.
Absolutely.
Which is real science. And so you can't speak negatively about yourself. You can't think negatively about yourself. And even when you're speaking towards someone else with vile, that is also affecting the water in your body. It's making your water malformed, making malformed cells. It's affecting your mitochondria, your organelles, and everything within the body, and creating this dis-ease, which eventually turns into disease, which then has you pushing up daisies.
I mean, because it sounds elementary, right, when you say it like that. But it really is a simple way to live your life.
It is.
Yeah.
If you can focus on peace. Unfortunately, I've been in situations where people I've been around, they don't believe that you can live without having an argument. And they almost convinced me that, oh, yeah, you have to have arguments. I even went to a counselor one time that said, arguments are normal. You have to be in arguments. I'm like, do I have to be in an argument?
I mean, even when we talk about relationships, right?
Yeah.
Talk about if this is your person.
Yeah.
How are they when they're angry? You should be arguing with each other. Yeah. How is he in an argument?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can have a disagreement, but nobody should attack me to the point where I now have to respond, loud and out of my character, which can happen. It's happened to me. I'm thinking there needs to be no argument. There's no need to argue. We can literally have a strong disagreement. And at the end of the day, we can leave with that, I agree to disagree, and still love one another and still not have an argument. And I think that we've been fooled into believing arguments have to happen, and we self-sabotage ourselves because things look like they're going too good. We make things happen that bring this negativity in, or we create situations for ourselves that that just hold us back. It's all programming code. We have to begin to separate ourselves from those thoughts. We have to see ourselves not as the thoughts, but the observer of the thoughts. And then we can reprogram ourselves on the fly.
Yeah.
It takes time in the beginning, but if you can pull yourself back and take some space in between your reaction, you can then reprogram your output. A lot of people are only reacting.
Billy, I'm so glad you said this, because a few weeks ago I went on live and I talked about this because I was having one of those, just a shitty morning. You know how you just get in your feelings, you get in your emotions, right?
Yeah.
And I told this story of how I made something to eat. I made this salad and I was about to eat it. And I got this phone call. Now, mind you, I've had Chinese medicine practitioner Jia Mingzhu on the show. We talked about how we eat, how it affects our digestion, stagnant liver, all your qi, all of these things, right? I get this phone call. I immediately put the food down because I said, you already having a whole reaction. What we can't do is put some food on top of this, right?
Right.
But what I did in that moment, Billy, is I said, you need to get on the frequency. I put on a 10-minute meditation. I got quiet. I focused on my breath. And immediately I got back on the frequency. Shifted my whole entire day, shifted my whole mindset within 10 minutes.
Powerful.
And I think that so many people forget that they have power inside of themselves to shift reality at any given moment.
Absolutely. You hit it on the head. I learned from myself that getting angry and frustrated and getting out of my character only tortures myself.
Yeah.
I'm only punishing myself. I'm literally making my own self sick.
Absolutely.
It's the worst thing you can do to yourself.
No one's feeling this headache.
Yeah.
Because I've been screaming and yelling at you. Nobody else is getting this headache but me, okay?
Exactly. And I just came to the realization at this point in my life, at the age I'm at right now, I'm just like, you know what? I don't have to argue, and I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
I'll disagree and we'll work things out. We'll talk through things, but I don't care who it is, but I'm not arguing anymore. That part, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to have more control over my consciousness and my ability to process information and take that space like you did. And when we can do that, then we truly get back into our true character.
Yeah.
And also in a high vibration. And that high vibration will supersede and override any low vibrations and bring positivity back towards us. Because whatever vibration we get into, that is actually what's going to come toward us like a boomerang. The universe says, oh, you want to be in a bad mood? Well, I'm going to send you a whole bunch of stuff.
It's like a whole avalanche.
Yes.
Of bad, you get this one feeling, and if you're willing to ride that feeling out, baby, you're going to get it the whole day.
All day. And wherever you look, here comes more stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I can't allow myself to be in this position. And it's it's a gradual process breaking out of that, and I still catch myself every now and then slipping into it. But when I catch myself, like, okay, I see what I did there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that. It's a learning lesson. Let me make sure in this particular thing, it blindsided me, but I'm not going to allow that to happen next time. It's a learning process, but if you work on it, you can become really good at it.
If that blessed you, trust me, you've only scratched the surface. There's so much more wisdom, truth, and transformation waiting in the full conversation. Click the link in the caption below to watch the entire interview, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Vault Empowers Talks.